Public art. It brings beauty to our city's streets and walls. But does it serve as more than that? I'm Justin Gephardt, and I'm taking to the streets of Fort Wayne to meet with artists who have left their mark on Fort Wayne and discuss the power of public art. Theo?
Hey, how we doing there?
Doing pretty good. Thank you very much for meeting with me today.
Thanks for having me.
Here to talk about this amazing piece downtown Fort Wayne.
Yes.
I just want to say I love this piece, and I love that it is this kind of hidden gem downtown tucked away in this alley. I just want to begin by asking if you could tell me a bit about the process of how you began this piece.
So I'm a fan of relationship first. So meeting the owners that owns this spot here, that's actually called Mercado. And pretty much they commissioned me to come in and create a piece, a one-of-a-kind piece. Just wanted something bold, colorful, and related to the restaurant that's connected to it. So with this being said, it's a woman painted in the Day of the Dead kind of fashion, and have some whimsical flowers, and it's almost like this breeze that I brought to life, where it's all, you can't see it, but you know it's there. It's kind of pointing to the direction of where to hang out at.
I love that there's that kind of subtle, it's a beautiful piece, but it has that subtle messaging of the wind blowing towards the restaurant.
Yes.
And, you talked about it's a commission piece.
Yes.
Could you tell me a bit about that process of painting a commission piece, and how much was it mostly you planning it?
Sure.
How much were you communicating with the client?
Sure. So with that, it was one of those things where they brought me in, they trust my expertise about creating, and they just gave me the theme. And so that's my job, to kind of peel the onion, ask a lot of questions. Hey, what do you like? What do you enjoy? What is this all encompassing and embodies in this specific piece here? They wanted to have something that was kind of like a Tex-Mex traditional kind of flair to it. So definitely I'm Hispanic in background and nature, but how can we make it a little bit more modern, make it fun, make it inviting, and make it beautiful? And so those are my expertise, and just kind of, we went down a list of what that looks like, how big you want it, what do you want to portray it at, and what else can we do with it? So it's kind of like a message, a visual message, if you will, without saying words.
Would you say when you were painting this piece, did you kind of take into mind that not only is it tied with the restaurant and
Sure.
the themes of the restaurant, but you were also wanting to portray this message to the public?
Yes, that's another specialty of mine. I want to make sure that it's not only related and translated with the restaurant of any kind or any other client, but more so how can the community relate to it as well too. This has become a nice little destination, a hidden gem, if you will, for people to come take pictures. But again, to make things inviting, I want to make people curiosity with a lot of color and a lot of bold colors and strokes, and just something that's whimsical and beautiful. So if you just stumble across this, it's almost like I want the city to come enjoy it, come and be a part of the arts. I want to make sure that it sticks out and it's bold and it's fun.
I can definitely say it feels so like calm and smoothing, while also feeling so alive when I'm looking at it.
Indeed.
Now, this piece is kind of, as we mentioned, a hidden gem kind of down here in Fort Wayne, tucked away in this alleyway, where downtown Fort Wayne public art has been on this big rise in the past few years.
Yes.
Would you say when putting together this piece, you kind of had to keep in mind other art going on in the area? Were you thinking of almost this kind of collaboration with other artists who are also putting up public art downtown?
I would say art around here is like a person that sings. Like, if you know what Stevie Wonder sounds like versus Elvis Presley, right?
Yeah.
Same in fashion with art. We have this voice, if you will, and this style of vibratos and crescendos, but with using color and using shapes and patterns. And so with this, among other pieces, we kind of create a harmony, if you will.
Wow.
And so that's what each artist brings to the table here. And that's what I want to portray with this. And it's almost like a head nod, where you may see another artist do something that's totally maybe in left field, but in some kind of way it still relates, because it's making the cities beautiful. It's making our outside appearance beautiful, and it's bringing demographics from around the world to come into the city. We're the getaway from the getaway in Fort Wayne, for people to come and enjoy what we have to offer here. And so first, you go by what you see around where you're at.
Now, we talked about this message it kind of carries of not only wanting to get you, kind of bring a draw to the restaurant, but also having this message of the Day of the Dead. Would you say that message is received by the community, or do you think they receive a bit of a different message?
We receive it very well. We're a very friendly community here, very friendly city. And so being able to look at the cultures that are here and seeing one person do something that's totally opposite from another, it's well received. And then I think we have that obligation and the audacity to be able to make things bold and for people to, inquire and entice. So we've done our job.
Okay, yeah, that's amazing to hear. I'm seeing the sun is kind of coming out. It's
Yeah.
warming up a bit.
Yeah.
I'd love to continue this conversation if you want to hop inside, and
Let's
we
do
can
it.
kind of continue talking.
Sounds good.
Alrighty.
All right.
Well, thank you very much for joining me again here inside Theopolis.
Yes.
Much cooler in here.
Very cool.
I know we were just out there talking about your beautiful piece over in the alleyway. I just wanted to ask you, what else you got going on around Fort Wayne? What other pieces you
Man,
got?
so just got finished wrapping up a tunnel that's under a viaduct on Calhoun Street. In these past couple of years, Electric Works did some stuff at the Vera Bradley Hotel called the Bradley. Done some stuff, other things around the landing here, and just see wherever else takes me to. I just got finished with a CityLink bus. I did an actual bus where we just got finished designing that as well too. So did a piece of Rosa Parks, but then these abstract flowers kind of like that are dancing across the whole bus.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that bus around town, and
Yes.
that's so cool to hear that. That was you.
Yes,
You've got your pieces in a lot of different communities.
yes, I did.
And I did kind of want to touch on that a bit in that these public art pieces, they're in the public, of course. And
Yes.
so would you say that they help kind of bring the community together?
It does its job. It brings the community together. It allows people to have a place to kind of come and roam, to see, to invite people that are not from here to come be a part of the community. For the artists, it actually keeps the economy going as well too. That's one thing that people don't kind of touch on, where it allows artists to keep the dollar circulating in your community. Sometimes with doing projects that are big projects, they bring in big wigs from another city or state. And I'm almost positive we have everything that we need in the city, in the state. And so I'm glad that they, here in this city, that we make sure that the artists are being taken care of, and I can speak for that. And
Okay. From your perspective as an artist, do you feel that when you're going out and making public art, you are doing it more because of a demand from the public that they want more art, or are you doing it more of a you're wanting to put your mark out there? Or is it a balance?
Both actually. It's a balance, but definitely both. For the fact that the community wants more art, I think that's valid. It's important. It shows that the arts have a, it's a place for us. And then when they want me to do something specifically, all the more reason to tell the story, to kind of champion and have the camaraderie of just putting the best foot forward for our city. I think that's very important.
So public art can drive different messages and different
Yes.
meanings. It can drive discussions. How would you say public art can impact that discussion?
Art is pretty much a byproduct of life. And I feel like if you see art that's one extreme, and they may have a great message, whether it be whatever that message is portraying, good, bad, happy, or sad. But I think it does something when you actually know who did it. And then you have those one-on-one conversations of, hey, why did you do this? Or why did you create this? Or why do you create art? And it allows you, for me, to be able to connect with the community once more, to champion you to say, hey, everything's gonna be okay, or just in challenging you to, hey, be better than what you were yesterday. And not only you, but I have that responsibility, and we kind of challenge each other on that. So I live by 3 C's: create, challenge, and connect. That's what I play by, and that's the groundwork, my foundation of how I create and why I create.
Okay. Now, public art is popping
Yeah.
up on almost every corner of Fort Wayne, and some of them seem to just be this regular piece of art that may not have a specific message behind it, but a lot of it seems to be driving a lot of different messages around town.
Indeed.
Do you think art is driving a civic discussion in Fort Wayne?
It has no other choice but to. We have those important conversations of why we should place art, what kind of art, because you have a lot of different genres of art, and how can we portray that where everyone is displaying their excellence. It's a lot of voices here, so we want to make sure that it's a balanced and equal place where everyone can be able to speak freely. People have a lot of meaning behind what they do, a lot of way that they are brought up in the way that they live. And I feel like everyone should have a space to be able to create and be able to portray their messages, and just if it's no message at all, just to be creative. I think that we should have the liberty to do such there. It brings the second part of what kind of conversations do we have before and after, and also too, how are we involved in the community? But I have the responsibility of portraying a message, being able to reach out to my community, make sure that we on one accord, but also to, again, just to encourage us. We have our challenges socially, economically, and so forth and so on. I want to make sure that I leave a mark where it's, again, challenging you to be better. It can be scary at times. It could be a place where it's almost fearful, because if you say something, who will receive it and who won't? Again, art is a byproduct of life. And when you see these pieces, whether it be on the walls or on your canvases or in your people's homes or on your mugs, your t-shirts, whatever it's on, it has the power to shape our tomorrows. Count me as the hieroglyphics of the time. I observe everything, I document everything for the betterment of someone where I may be centuries and generations later that I may not be around. They know the marks that we had in this city, in this world.
I love that. I love that mindset of you're not only making an impact now,
Mhm.
and you're trying to get that message now, but years down the line,
Yep.
that's still going to
I have a
be,
responsibility for
people
that.
will still be taking that message in.
Yep.
Wow. Well, thank you very much for being
Thank
with
you.
me today, Theo. Thank you for telling me all about your art, and good luck with your next piece.
Thank you so much.